there are two groups of people that deserve a little shot across the bow. One of them is the San Francisco Giants.
Get them.
Absolutely. And it's simply just this. It's just disappointing. Like, it's way too early to freak out, so I won't. I can't even tell you who it is that y'all are supposed to blame. I know right now you want right field, free Matos. Maybe, but we're 11 games in, and you don't really have a great case to make yet. Everybody who I hear say free Matos goes, well, let's let us see him. Well, that's not how it works. That's not how sports works. You don't get to just let you see him because you feel like it, because you're annoyed at the people you are seeing. It's too early to start DFAing people who have hit 25 homers in the big leagues. It's too early to start messing with your 40-man roster as we start week 3 of the season.
So that would be what would have to happen, essentially, because Yaz is out of options and Slates is out of options. You're not
sending these people somewhere.
And Yaz is making like $7.25, I think, million.
Yes, and Matos, by the way, worked his way up to the bigs last year, and let's be real, disappointed. So all of that is where it is. Matos is going to make his way up if this continues, and that's fine. I just look at it as more of an umbrella view. This is disappointing. This is not what I thought that this team was going to look like. And I think it's way too early to freak out because the bullpen will still come together. I thought Blake Snell's issues last night, you could kind of see coming from a mile away. He has a hard time. He doesn't pound the strike zone, and he has a hard time early in seasons. He did last year. And then he won the Cy Young. So this is all, I still believe in the possibility or probability of this quote-unquote coming together.
Right.
But I just, man.
When is it okay to, quote, freak out?
Oh, we're still weeks away from that.
Like 30 games, 40 games? What's the point where you can look at it and go, all right.
And what's the record? Like if after 40 games they're 20-20, that's not freak out time yet.
Of course.
At all. If they're 15-25, then yeah, we can have that conversation.
Okay.
I'm just disappointed. I think Giants fans wanted this brand of baseball to look different than it does. And here's what I mean by that. Bob Melvin brought some stability, and the analytics stopped driving things at such a level. Look at the lineup again tonight. It's pretty much the same lineup. That's what we asked for. We asked for everyday players who could hit the ball out of the ballpark. And 4 games now have been played at Oracle Park, and they haven't hit the ball out of the ballpark. Not once. I just didn't necessarily think that the Giants were going to have to grind out the 3-2 game every single damn night like they've been trying to do for the last 2 years. And it's too early to say that that's who they are, but that's what they've looked like so far. And it's a bummer.
What's more disappointing to you, the lack of pop in the lineup or the general sloppiness with which they've gone about playing these baseball games? Base running errors.
Yeah, general sloppiness.
Throwing the ball around and not looking buttoned up as a ball club.
Yeah. And some of that is not even the kind of error that you'd blame them on. Like, arguably, they lost on Saturday because Jung-Hoo Lee didn't see a ball. I don't know how you get mad at somebody who, like, I don't know, you're a human. You look up into the sun, you can't see. I'm not going to be mad at the guy for that. Couldn't see the ball.
Yeah.
But it led to a grand slam, and the Giants, that was it. They lost 4-0. So some of it is that. I do think some of it is circumstantial, but you can't get around the fact that this has been disappointing. And last night was the most disappointing of them all. No question about it, because I can easily get through 10 games of like, well, you played the Padres and the Dodgers, and you played them largely on the road, and 2 of your starting pitchers aren't ready yet. I'm cool. And then you show up and you're like, all right, now we're home. Now our free agent acquisition's on the mound, and now a minor league team is in town. You got ran off the floor. You got ran out the building last night. 8-1? Name a national. Exactly.
Your kid can.
That dude. That
Told
guy.
you, Dad.
What's the dude's? I don't even know the name.
Lane
something.
Lane
Who's
something.
the kid who hit the ball out of the park
Lane
last
Thomas?
night? Lane Thomas.
Lane Thomas. Elaine Thomas.
10-year-old sitting there heckling me. He's like, Dad, this guy's good. He's good. I'm like, okay.
Go to your
How
room.
do you? I'm like, how do you even know who this is? Oh, because he was good last year, Dad. I got his baseball card. He's good. You got to watch out for that guy. All right, fine. Whatever. Then he grounds out. 2 innings later, seed goes halfway up in the left field stands. He just looks at me. Told you. He's good. Go
to your room.
Hit the showers.
Seriously.
You went to camp today. Go to the showers. You smell. Crying out loud.
Lane Thomas. Get Lane Thomas out of here.
What are we doing? So anyway.
It's the way they went about losing that game.
Slop.
It was slop, and you get an early run, and then you fall behind, and there was that feeling that you had over the last couple of years, that feeling of dread, like, well, this one's over, and I don't want to feel that anymore. I don't want to feel like a 3-1 deficit in the 5th or 6th is a death knell, but that's what it felt like, Yep.
That's the feeling that left in 2021 that we all loved. I was addicted to the idea of when you're down 4-2, the game's not over. I loved that. It's back.
Yeah.
It's back. Like the Nationals, they were up 3-1, and you're like, ugh. And then they scored 3 more, and you're like, night.
Oh, yeah.
No joke. You know what the kid said that really hurt me last night? 6-1. He leans over. He goes, is there anything else we can watch?
Oh, no. And that's what Farhan, and you mentioned this yesterday, or maybe it was last week. No, it had to be yesterday. I didn't see you last week, but they worked so hard in the offseason to not only make the team better, but make fans notice that the team was better.
Yeah.
And I know last night's crowd was small. It's to be expected on a Monday night.
Yeah.
Fine. You got 25, 26,000, whatever the number was they announced. But that feeling of, is there something else on from a baseball junkie, diehard 10-year-old? That's what they're trying to avoid.
I think I've gotten the I'm bored text from Grandy most games this year, right? Pretty much most games this year. You're like, this is boring.
Last night was incredibly boring.
It's boring.
And
Derek
you've been at the
God.
last couple. Where,
Derek Law.
Yeah, he was shoved.
I mean,
That was my contribution on the thread. And then Grandy, Derek Law killing him with the Giants and killing him without being on the Giants.
And there's Krook talking about how Derek Law once upon a time was going to be the Giants closer, and he just didn't quite have the command of the strike zone to take the job. I'm like, well, he does tonight because he's spinning these dudes around in circles. And is there anybody in the Giants bullpen that can come in between the 6th and 8th inning and get outs? We got anybody who can get some outs?
Well, not currently. They're throwing
anyway.
the rooks. It was all the rookies last night.
Well, yeah, that's
the freshies.
That's the we're down by 5 group.
Right.
And then you're down by 7.
Exactly. So
anyway. And so then